everyone, welcome back to the channel. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning back in here. So we have an unboxing here today. This isn't a new product that's come out, but it's certainly not old. We have acquired the Umarex Notos in 22 caliber. I've shot this a few times. Definitely can see its potential in regards to hunting, let alone plinking, or showing other people who are wanting to get into the sport of air guns. So I think this is a very awesome entry-level kind of rifle, especially for its price and for its size. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and take a lookie. Now, a couple things to note here with this is that because of its small, compact form, it doesn't hold a lot of rounds in regards to the reservoir. This can shoot up to 780 feet per second. I believe it was with the 12 grains pellets. Now, it only allows you to shoot about 21 rounds when you're doing that. I'll have to check to see if this is adjustable. It looks like it may be adjustable in regards to the speed, but I'll have to double check on that. But the main purpose for me getting this rifle is so that way I can go pesting in areas where having a long 4-foot rifle really isn't that accommodating. But if you're needing to go into small little areas to be able to shoot rats or birds that are in the lofts or whatever that you're shooting at, that you're hunting, plus the fact that it's lightweight is definitely something that I appreciate. So looks like you only have a single rotary mag here. Looks like it comes with a few screws here, as well as a male fitting for your air tank. And then here's the buttstock. I've seen where some of these rifles do have aftermarket items for the stock. Folding ones, I don't have that, but I do want to see if I can get something that is also compact that would allow you to make this a little more easier to put into a backpack. But we can talk a little bit more about that later, but we'll get into the assembling of this rifle here. Plain and simple. Goes in like so. Now the screws that we saw earlier are going to be what we need for this, and it looks like it's going to be using an Allen, which is not included. Give me a second. Got my Allen set. So it looks like we're probably pushing closer to, what is that? Really, really tiny. Something 64ths. Something 64ths. Screw 1, screw 2, screw 3. Pinch this down, just a small tweak. Cool. And like that. Notice is ready to go. I will say that it is slightly difficult to get my finger in there to do quick consecutive shots, but I'm sure with time I'll get better at it. Trigger is a little bit firm, but there's nothing wrong with that. I do like that the fact that the safety is right there, so that way you're just ready. Do kind of wish that it had a little lever here on the side. That way it would just make it easier to grab instead of just a small little tiny lip. Like it's barely like 1/8 of an inch for you to grab. But otherwise, it's really slick. Oh, comes with a single shot tray pre-installed right there. Nice. So just goes right in there. So if you want to put a single round in there, you can. It looks like you've got your fill port here. Twist it around. That up here on the bottom. I have seen where some people just leave it installed in there, just so that way they don't have to worry about hunting for it, losing it. Stock is nice, so in case you have longer arms, or you're short like me, if you go with the more collapsed version of it. Cool. All right. So with this rifle, I mentioned pest control. I do want to do this for pest control, but also I want to have this so that way I can make it very compact and take it wherever I want to go. So if I'm on a hunting trip or something like that, I just want to keep this in my backpack instead of having to carry, you know, the Umarex Gauntlet 1, 2, or even the 30. I just want to carry this because, you know, it's simple and it's 22. Not really going to be shooting this more than 50 yards. I've shot this at 75 yards and it shoots wonderfully, very wonderfully. Awesome tight groups. But I want to kind of see what pellets it can handle, just besides the 12 grain that I've read that it takes. Kind of want to push it to 15, 18, maybe 25 grain. But I also want to go ahead and put it through a series of slugs as well in 22, just to see if it can handle it and if you can get good groupings with those slugs. So yeah, we want to use this gun for pest control, just because of how small it is and how maneuverable we can be when we're hunting. So a couple questions that we're going to be asking ourselves are, what kind of critters are we going to be hunting? And what kind of optics are we going to be putting on the Notos? I'm probably going to be using this as a rat gun or small bird gun. You know, something that I can be able to walk around with, pick things off fairly quickly, fairly easily. Now, the nice thing about this is that it's already got a moderator on it built in. So it's not like I can go in there and take it off and replace this with anything that I've made, but as it stands, it's actually quiet, and it's probably quiet enough that I don't need to do anything further with it, which is awesome. So, optics. We have 3 different options we can pick from. We can go with our standard glass optic. We can go with a red dot. Some people might possibly even go with just regular iron sights. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I do have available for us. Okay, got this Crossfire 2 scope. Mount that on there. Definitely gonna need medium-sized rings for this, because that is rubbing against Picatinny rail, and that is kind of close to the magazine well, so probably have to look and get that changed. Option 2 is that red dot. This is the Holosun HS510C. It has a self-awake feature and has, I think, like 4 different options in regards to the optic that you can use, whether it's a circle or just a circle or a dot and then crosshair. I've shot this out to 50 yards, but when it comes to shooting at 50 yards at a 3-inch target, this is a 2 MOA dot, and I could barely see the target out there at 50 yards, let alone trying to know exactly where it was hitting. I just shot and hoped for the best. Actually did pretty good. Got a 2-inch grouping at 50 yards with this, so for shooting at 25 yards, I don't think that we're gonna have any problem hitting what we need to, because red dot. So I'd probably be putting it right there in the front, just after the magazine well. I think that would look cool. Let's try it on. It's actually kind of cool. I've got a smudge in my glass. But still, that doesn't look half bad, actually. What do you guys think? Pretty good. Now, iron sights would be nice, but I'm more thinking that even though with this red dot, yeah, you can probably see things at daytime. You can shoot anything that you want. Maybe you might be able to see a little bit at nighttime with this, which is probably what I'm going to be going towards is our night hunts. So that might work. But I did invest in something fun. This is the Zulus HD 5x20. This is a night scope, not a thermal scope. It is simply a night scope. It records in 1080p. It has an infrared light on there, so you can use it just as a night scope without the infrared. Quality isn't that great. There is kind of a lag in the picture, but when you turn on that infrared, it is butter smooth, and it is nice. You can adjust the amount of energy that is coming out of the infrared, so that way you can see at further distances. You can also go ahead and narrow down the field, so that way it's more of a pinpoint instead of just a broad infrared beam. And it gives you at least like 20 different presets in at least 5 different colors for your crosshair. Now, this is all digital. You can zoom in right here from 5 to 20x, and then it allows you to focus. And on top of that, you can record your hunts day or night. So this is a color optic. It also does black and white for nighttime. Although thermal would be cool, Arkin Optics does have these on sale. You can use their discount code SAVE25% and get 25% off of this. Normally this is about $650, but with that Save 25, you're actually saving about $110 or so to get this optic. Now, as pricey as that is, for the quality that you're getting out of this thing, this is probably worth a lot more than what you're actually paying for. Because if you look at ATN, they do have thermal. They also have infrared on theirs. But those kind of start around $800 to $1,000. Whereas this, with that discount, is about $550 out the door. I think this takes up to either 64 or 128 gigabyte SD card. It comes with 2 rechargeable batteries. So while one's charging on the power pack, you can go ahead and start using this one. Once this one's depleted, hopefully that other one's nice and ready for you, and then you can go ahead and pop that in and just swap the other one out. By default, that is what it comes with, is with a charger and 2 batteries. I think it's the 18650. It looks like it is a specific type for this one. It does come with an SD card, and it comes with this particular mount. So just keep in mind when you're mounting this, it is supposed to be oriented like this and not the other way around, because you do need to have this really, really close up to your eye so that way you can see it. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really hard. But let's take a look at it and see what it looks like on the scope, on the rifle. So I've got my little tool tray. It's got all my fun little gadgets that I've gotten from all my air rifles that I hold on. That way, in case I need something, I've always got it. This is a Vortex torque wrench. When I got this like 10 years ago, it was probably about 65 bucks. Probably one of the best investments that I've gotten, because this allows me to torque down all of my rifles as I need to make sure that they stay on as they recommend. So this goes from all the way down from 16 all the way up to, it looks like 50, probably 55 plus, but I've never ventured that high. It does come with a few sets of tools that you'll probably need. A couple of hex wrenches, comes with this little socket adapter, and one of the other cool things that it has right here on the back is it allows you to adapt for a ratchet. So if you do need to, it gives you a little bit extra leverage. That way you can be able to get this torque down. Now, when I say it goes from 16 to 50, that's in inch pounds, not foot pounds, inch pounds. Makes a big difference. Otherwise, things may break. To note, on the bottom of this, it takes about 35 inch pounds to square these three up. And we're going to have three more here, but those are going to be at 30 inch pounds. One thing we are going to need to be aware of for this is the magazine. There it is. Well, we clear it. Fairly certain that we will. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this powered on here real quick. Pop the lens. Yeah, this requires you to get really, really close. Really up close to it. Oh, if that fits right there. Oh my gosh. We'll try that for right now. Oh. Doesn't allow you to take off this little cap here. I think I actually like that better. I feel like I can get a lot closer and I can see the whole screen. Alright, while it's on, it does clip some of the corners and I can't see some of the icons inside of the screen. Now, another cool thing about this scope is that it allows you to be able to see in real time what you're seeing here on the camera. And when the camera's not recording, you can go through on the app. It allows you to start scrolling through a lot of the settings, so you can go ahead and play with it as you need to, change the timers. You can hit record on there. So if you're seeing through here, your friend can be right next to you watching exactly what you see and can help point out if he sees anything on the camera as well. Here we're looking at a kit that's about 20-30 feet away using minimum infrared, 5 power. Now we're focusing on a car that is just across the street, so it's probably about 75 to 100 yards away. Sorry about the focus there. There we go. I'm going to take a look here at some of the different options that they have for the reticles. Some are MOA, some are mil. You can get different colors from white, green, red, yellow, and black. Here we're focusing on maximum infrared power, again, stability. 5x. I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit. Now I'm going to change the infrared focus so it's a little more concentrated, and you can tell that it kind of changes the contrast on that. I think that is going to be where it's at. That is wicked close to the magazine well, but there is about an 1/8 clearance just above it. And it, like literally a hair. You could barely fit a hair right between where the end of this mount is and where this magazine ends up. But you have to get it just right, otherwise it's not going to fit. But it goes in and out, no problem. Fit it in, close your lever there. Although I will say, it might make it interesting trying to get this to cock and decock. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, I think this is the winner. I think this is the winner. I'm sorry, Red Dot, but I think we've got our setup for our night hunts. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Dude, I am stoked for this. This is actually going to work out way better than I anticipated. Stay tuned here for future videos. We're going to be having some fun with this scope.